Cold cuts.
Cold cuts.
Yo, very special guest. I know you love him. You know him. Vosh. We're here with Vosh.
It's me,
Third.
Vosh. I've come out from behind my drama curtain, and I am now in with the Cold Cuts boys, and we're gonna go through some people. We're gonna find some people online.
God,
I'm not saying the right
uncanny.
thing.
You are
'cause
just
I am Vosh.
sassy,
That
Vosh.
is,
What is going on with you, Vosh? I've
I don't-
never
yeah.
seen this.
You sound
I don't-
healthy. You
I don't
sound
know
great.
anything about. I don't know anything about fucking Vosh. Like around the time Vosh became popular, I totally aged out of that type of material. Like I hit 32, and I'm like, yeah, it's just YouTube. What am I doing?
I know. No, I feel you.
I'm hitting that now. I'm about to turn 30. You're such a baby man, Harris. You have your whole life ahead of you. How old are you? It's just
Like,
1 year younger.
I think we're like 8 months
You
apart.
have
or
your
something.
whole life ahead of you.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm so jealous.
You know, I had a different intro that we were going to do before that Vosh bit came up. Which, I mean, first of all, just absolutely incredible impression of Vosh.
Thank you. It's a great.
Powerful.
This is
By
my
the way-
amazing Vosh impression. Do you like me? I'm like your online older brother who will bully conservatives for you.
That's good.
It's
That's
me,
really
Vosh.
good. Dude,
Dude,
you're
we need
like-
to have Vosh versus Vosh.
I would like you to debate him.
I'm
in
not
the
going to get to
exact
debate
voice.
him as terrible
Himself.
As
stereotypical
himself.
gay lisp.
My intro was going to be, I don't know if you guys know this, I just found this out today, but apparently May, it's the 1st of May, which apparently is Jewish Heritage Month, and to celebrate,
Congrats to both of you.
The Jews have outnumbered the Italians on the pod for
I
today.
hate this. I hate
Yeah,
this.
and now we get to kick the shit out of you.
We're
or
going to
something.
talk
I am-
about some Semitic shit.
Well, apparently,
Yeah.
I'm secretly a male to No, I'm secretly a female to male Jew who's
Oh.
converting the webcomic world. Apparently, according to some people. So
Interesting.
I'll take half Jewish for today, just so I feel like
have there
I'm in with
been
you guys.
have there been transvestigations about you?
About
Yes,
you?
I think because of my buns. But
You're
I'm
caked
I'm
up.
fine with it. I am pretty caked up, bro. You do not want to see my ass right now, bro. It is
Are you sure?
crazy big. Yeah, I'm sure. Dude, I remember when I dressed as a girl for Halloween in high school. I was like, my buddies on the football team were Dace and Malik, and they were these two huge dudes. I think we talked about this last episode, but I stopped myself from saying black. They were black, but they were these two huge black guys. But they were. I was dressed up like a chick, and I was facing away from them. And these were like my boys, okay? And I remember them being like, they didn't know it was me. I had a wig on, and they were like, yo, that chick thick as hell. Yo, her ass, I would be piping that. And I remember turning around being like, bro, please don't say that about my ass, dude. It was
Well,
so
you know, yeah, I wrote a comic about this recently because it's been happening to me too. You know, me and Zach, we got a little more of us to go around. You know,
we shop in the
That's
husky
right.
section.
Husky
yeah,
boys.
shop in the husky section. But you know, my upper body looks like shit. But because I walk around a lot, I have the phenomena of fat guy legs, where my legs are like oddly muscular and
Abs,
defined.
baby.
That's
I
clutch.
got the
Cab.
Chun-Li legs. Yeah, I
That's
got the
clutch.
big Chun-Li legs.
Dude, there was
Because I'm
there
carrying around this heft all the time.
was a
Yes.
guy that there was a guy that I worked with forever ago in New York that like he only ever wore shorts. He was a really fat dude, and if it was like fucking like there were days that we were coming to work and it was like 6 degrees outside plus wind chill or whatever, and he would just roll up in a fucking like North Face jacket and shorts. And I
I'm
was
telling
like,
you,
what are you doing?
I feel
he
his
had those
pain.
fat guy legs.
Bro, when you have fat moose legs, it is so hard to wear pants. You don't understand, bro. I remember at Elon, there were days you'd come over wearing pants, and I'd be like, he doesn't know how good he fucking has at being able to wear nice pants. I can't wear any type of formal dress pants with no stretch. I'm not even messing with you, bro. I've tried them all on. They don't fit. I have to wear something that literally stretches, or else my fat ass it's just not going in.
I had a nightmare about this recently. I had a nightmare where I was back in law school and I wore sweatpants to class every day. So all the kids kept calling me Elastic. And they kept calling me elastic, you know, and they
That's
were tormenting
classic.
me. And I kept trying to get out of the law school, but every door I opened just led me back to a classroom where they were yelling elastic at me.
Yeah, dude, that's classic.
Dude, people were elitist about that shit at our college, Harris. Did you ever know that?
About what?
Dude, I would show up to pajama pants on like early morning classes sometimes and shit. But I remember one day I was leaving. Thankfully, I was dressed like a normal human. But I remember all these frat dudes. There was like some guy wearing sweats, and they were like, "Yo, look at this broke dude having to wear sweatpants. Yo, this dude's disgusting." And I was just
No
like,
way.
"Bro, he's wearing. Who gives a shit, bro?" There was so much shit,
That's
especially
bizarre.
after you left, bro. I remember one of the frats got banned because there was a Hispanic kid walking home, and they threw a Taco Bell burrito at his head from their moving
Jesus
car.
Christ, oh my
Yeah,
God.
dude, there was crazy. And I remember, dude, all the frat houses too were
Yo,
named
that
like.
man looks hungry. Don't let him go hungry.
Yeah, give that man a burrito. They're like really nice.
Accidentally hate crimed, yeah.
But dude, weren't all the? I swear, all the frat houses were called like the Plantation, or like shit
yeah, there
like
was
that, dude.
there was one called the Plantation. I didn't know
remember
anything
Crack
about
Shack.
frat life there. I couldn't. Even if I wanted to go to a frat party, like on the occasions that some of my friends would be like, "Yo, let's go to this party," I couldn't get in. Like I would never. I don't know anything about fraternity life at that school or anywhere for that matter. I just like.
I feel like the
not my
only
scene.
frat party I would have wanted to go to. I didn't even know. Did you know there was a Jewish fraternity?
No, I did not know that.
That's the
actually.
party I would have wanted to go
Hillel.
to, because I imagine you would play
That's
cards,
probably
you'd have
amazing.
soup, and everyone's in bed by like 8 p.m.
Yeah.
I
Do you
feel
guys
like
want to
that's
watch
fraternity.
Avatar: The Last Airbender?
That sounds fucking awesome, honestly. I mean,
I still haven't seen it. Are you a fan of that too?
Yeah, it's
What?
good. It's for
The
kids.
Last
Avatar?
Airbender?
The Last Airbender, yeah.
Yeah, what? Yeah, that you've never seen it? That show's fucking amazing.
No,
dude.
that's not the blue people one. That's the bald kid.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
the
the
other
bald kid.
Avatar,
Yeah, I
the
haven't
bald
seen
kid.
it. I know a
Yeah,
lot of people
dude,
said it was like
show's-
amazing though.
The show's great, and
Yeah.
you know what? It's actually not like it's not like one of these fucking One Piece shows where you have to like it literally takes them like fucking 5,000 episodes to find One Piece. Like
Yeah, One Piece fucking rules.
It-
One
it's
Piece fucking
so
is
long.
awesome.
Like at Last Airbender, you literally can just, I mean, watch the whole thing in like a week. I mean, there's barely. It's
Bro,
like,
but
I think
the
it's like 3
chicks-
seasons.
The chicks and I've never seen a One Piece episode, but I've seen clips posted online. The boob physics. I don't know how much
they
they're
get
paying the
progressively.
animators.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gets progressively more boobage throughout One Piece.
That's awesome.
about it.
Get
there's
progressively.
There's a comic store near me that has like, if you ever go into a comic store, there's always going to be a section that has the little like plastic figurines of like hot booby babes, like
Yeah.
you know what I mean, like anime girls or something like that.
alert.
And I always have to make a beeline straight there and just be like, interesting. Like this one wasn't here last week.
The
Or
artwork is so good. Yeah.
that shit is just so funny to me, and they're so expensive. It always makes me wonder, like, who I want to meet the guy who is the target demo for this type of like
I've met him.
product.
Have you
It's
ever
funny.
heard? No,
Go
what
ahead.
you've met him? You've met
I
him.
was
you're
just
saying?
gonna say I've met this guy that you're talking about multiple times, and he has two forms. The 1st form is what you expect.
Attack
He
form.
looks like me. No, it's schlub form. He looks like me.
Form, yeah.
He sits on his couch all day and he masturbates to his little toys. Okay.
Okay, defense form.
Defense form. Attack form. This is the second version of the guy. And I'm the one that comes off the top of my head. I have a picture of him on my back wall. He's like my best friend. I went to his wedding. It's a 9-foot tall Venezuelan man who is an MMA fighter
That's awesome.
and has seen every episode of Naruto 6 times.
That's awesome.
Loves Dragon Ball Z, is a fucking warrior, and buys the figurines. There's two types. There's no in between. You're
That's
either a
fucking
fucking
sick.
baller dude or you're me. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Hey, dude, it's amazing. Like, it made me and my brother used to joke about like if we would go to the store, like we would like imagine like gathering like all of the figurines and like bringing them to the front desk and just being like, do you have any more of these in the back? Like, just like why? Like, where do they go? Do you have a room dedicated to them? Do they sit on your desk? Are they in the office? Like, I just don't. I don't know.
You do cum tributes and post them on 4chan.
I guess that's it. But I suppose there is no artist that is more respected and more properly reimbursed for their craft than the people who make those
The
little
sculptors,
figurines, because
you
they're
think
so
they're mass
fucking
produced?
expensive.
Someone has like the hentai mold.
I don't know. I think if they
For
were mass
sure, they're
produced,
definitely.
they'd be. Dude, I think they would be like, $40-$50 if they were mass produced. Dude, the ones I'm talking about are like fucking $500, like
Yeah,
sitting
but,
in a glass case.
I mean, the pieces have to be I'm sure they're put together by hand, because especially the ones, I've seen the static ones of the babes.
yeah.
I remember. Here's a little embarrassing story about me. I was flying home on KLM from America.
Mm-hmm.
I had visited America. I was living in Saudi still, and they did an in-flight magazine, and one of the magazines there was an article of these toys or the figurines. Someone's having a panic attack that I'm calling them toys.
They're not.
I'm so sorry. They're not toys. These art figurines. And,
they're sculptures.
Sculpture. They're art. They're art. But one of them in the magazine, which is so crazy because this is like a magazine not for adults. It's just like the in-flight magazine. And one of them was this chick with the biggest breast you've ever seen, squeezing her nipples, and the milk was coming out from one breast, going around into like the other nipple.
Sure.
What?
Yeah. And as a kid though, I was like 10 or 11. I saw this and I was like, "Daddy likey." And I remember like secretly, because my mom was like sitting next to me on the plane, like secretly closing the magazine and ripping the page out and like putting it in my pocket. But I remember a week later her like finding it and being like, "What is this?" And I was just like, "I just like the article. The article was really there was an article about the toy and I don't know." But it was
Kitty lady wasn't the milk loop.
Yeah, it's great.
Anyway, I've seen the static ones like that, but I get what you're saying. I have seen ones that have like, I forget what it's called with an action figure. It's, I think, points of articulation where you can bend them and they have like 80 different fucking points. Yeah, and it's like,
yeah, that's fucking sick. Did either of you ever watch Crumb, like the R Crumb documentary by Terry Zwigoff? First of all,
no, I haven't. I've only seen the movie.
Dude, we should do a fucking watch party in the Patreon. That is one of the best fucking documentary movies I've ever seen. Whether or not whether or not you think R. Crumb is like kind of a sick freak. I mean, the documentary is only going to reinforce those beliefs, but he and his two brothers are some of the most just insane artists, like I think ever, like just illustrators. They're so fucking crazy, and that documentary is amazing. And the craziest part about it, I don't want to spoil anything because if Zach, if you haven't watched it or anybody hasn't watched it at home, but like one of the craziest parts about just them and their family dynamic is just they all talk very frankly about their like early childhood sexual impulses and like how that affected their like art moving forward, basically. And R. Crumb has a whole bit that he's talking about, like he's like, I couldn't really tell you why, but there was a period of time when I was like, 6-7 years old or something, that I was attracted to cartoon animals. And it's like he had this picture of like Bugs Bunny or something like that he like cut out of a magazine and he would just carry it around with him everywhere. And then he was talking about how like he left it in his pants pocket and then his mom accidentally put it through the wash and he was so like distressed about it. And then she was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And she like ironed it for him and it was all brittle and brown. And like, he's still like, it's just like reciting this story and just talking about he was like his early sexual fetishes. And it's just a fascinating.
Bro, I'm going R. Crumb mode.
Freudian shit,
very Freudian, yeah.
What you don't want to deal with is the fact that all of your ideas for what is pleasurable comes at you when you're very young.
Yeah,
probably too young to understand that shit. And then you look back on that and you're like, "Oh, that's where
that's
all that
why."
comes from.
Yeah.
Dude, I think, bro, I'm convinced that my run-in with my elementary school teacher is the reason I have a older woman fetish. I'm convinced.
There's probably some. I'm pretty sure there's something there.
Miss Hackett, you dirty old bitch. Yo, real quick, why? Because I do know about R. Crumb, but why is he considered disgusting? Is it just because he likes tall women with large legs?
No, he did some real disgusting comics. There's a famous one where he did like a incest comic with teenagers as well.
Yeah,
Justin Roiland would have loved that, bro.
He was way ahead of his time. He was ahead of his time on the furries. He was ahead of his time on the incest fetish stuff. He was, calling them from way back in the 70s.
Yeah. I think there's like something to the it's almost like when you reach a certain level of talent in your craft, any type of like bizarre or even hostile personality trait that you might have gets chalked up to like, oh, he's just a creative genius. That's just all part of his like bizarre nature. You know what I mean? And I think like R. Crumb is totally I mean, even like they're completely different figures, but even like the fucking Kanye West shenanigans that have been going on in the last year, like even. Guy. It's the same guy. It's like, I mean, basically, you still see some people that are gonna just forgive all of the shit that he said because it's like, what do you want from him? He's crazy. He's like openly insane, and I think there's something of like a line that you can connect there with a lot of talented artists, but Crumb just like a lot of his stuff is really dehumanizing to women and just really like just like that really dark sexual id
Yeah,
that's
it's
in a lot of people.
great, you know, and
It's
you should be
great.
able to parse like the problematic stuff out and be able
Yeah.
to enjoy it for what it is. And I mean, unless you know it's too much for you, which is fair enough. But
Yeah.
I like it, and it's
I
That's
think
valuable.
it's
why.
great.
That's why I'm forgiving Steven Crowder for his outburst against.
Oh my
his
God.
wife, 'cause-
He's a
Okay.
creative genius.
I've told you before of my
This is
weird
stupid.
association with Steven Crowder, right?
What's that?
Yeah,
No,
Brain, bro.
Yeah, when I
Come on,
replaced
Harris, you
him
know.
as the voice of the Brain on the television show Arthur when I was a child actor when
I
I
knew
was 12
that.
years old. But it's but now and my life has sort of moved in an opposite tack from him. Whereas
Was he
sort of,
also a voice of the brain? Sorry, I'm like
Yeah.
I'm like two sentences.
Okay, so
like,
you
behind.
remember the show Arthur. There's a character called the Brain, who's
Of course.
he's the smart one. And
Yeah.
he's also
He's
canonically
black, right?
black in
Yeah.
the show. Yeah, which is
Awesome.
very weird that they cast me and Steven Crowder. But that was before you had to do that. That's when, you know, those were the days of Apu.
Oh,
we called
dude,
him.
that's the
Classic.
Brain?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can picture
that's
him.
the
Why
Brain.
does the
There's-
Brain look exactly... I thought the Brain was Arthur's father.
No,
No,
his
he's a
design
kid.
is very similar.
You know what? I think I just watched the porn version of Arthur.
Is he-
I think,
is-
I
Oh,
think the
God.
Brain was just piping Mrs. Arthur and what I
Oh,
saw.
that's awesome.
Probably.
Is he an aardvark too though? Because he does look really.
He has to be.
I
yeah.
don't know. I guess.
Is he
It-
the
it
gay
doesn't-
one?
No, I guess there maybe he could have been gay.
Is he?
No,
Let's-
Mr.
Well, wasn't
Ratburn
there
is
a
canonically gay.
Rapper. That was the one
There's
where
no
people were
gay
freaking
children
out.
in the show. They had no
Okay.
obviously gay child in the show. They had no like they had no mincing, you know.
Well,
Hello,
adult,
Arthur. They had no Vosh like Arthur characters going.
Adult
Hello,
Arthur.
it's me. I'm a cat.
That's
Hi.
funny. He is. I'm looking at the Arthur fandom wiki right now.
Powerful. Powerful.
He is a bear, and they actually
What?
they don't explicitly say that he's a black character. They say his complexion is moderate vermilion. That
He
is
celebrates Kwanzaa one episode. He's from Ghana.
Oh, okay.
I
Well,
also-
there
Family's
you go.
from Ghana. Or
With as
something
much
like
as-
that.
All right.
You said the N-word as the character. I would assume. I'm hoping he's black.
So
Look, it was we had a lot of guest writers at the time. We had Quentin Tarantino writing for it.
yeah, this is crazy.
And he
Quentin
just loves doing
Tarantino's
that.
Arthur would be so
Dude,
fucking
they had
good,
they
dude.
had Samuel L. Jackson as DW. Like, can you like just? It was a crazy time for
He
the
was
Arthur
saying
show.
bitch a lot, you know,
Yeah.
saying all the swears, all the fun
just
swears.
screaming at Arthur's little annoying fucking sister.
So you played Arthur in what it before
played
or
Brain.
after?
He
Oh,
played
sorry,
I played this
Brain.
character immediately after Steven Crowder. I replaced Steven Crowder.
Wow, that is so crazy. Well, I probably shouldn't say this on stream. Well, maybe I don't
Dude,
know.
he
but
has told us this story.
I know,
I've
but-
said this many times before.
Yeah.
you are on this wiki page that I'm looking at here alongside Steven Crowder that has all of the voice actors that have played the Brain.
Yeah,
And
we
you're-
are a
Docs
rare club.
alert.
I should
Docs
find-
alert. Hunt house down.
That is kind of crazy though.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, very fucking cool, dude. So have you hit up Steven Crowder to be like,
Hey, we should collab, man.
Yeah, you should be like,
I think
I
you're in
have
dire
replaced
straits right
you.
now.
Be like, I have
Um,
replaced you before, and I will replace you again.
Well,
Yo,
that's
my
what I'm
wife sucks
thinking.
too.
I now have to raise his child and get his child to recognize me as his father before Steven Crowder. I think I'm gonna commit my life, the rest of my life, to doing that.
Dude, I
Dude.
support that. Power play.
I'm
Power
going to
play.
Very
insinuate.
powerful.
I'm going to steal his generational respect from him.
I think he's done that to himself. Boom,
Yeah.
baby. You just got boomed, Steven
You
I
guys-
Crowder.
still, to this
Why
day,
do people get ring cameras? Oh my god!
I know. And then I was wondering, I mean, my first thought was, how did that video leak?
I mean, the
my-
wife clearly.
That
Yeah,
she must have
leaked
leaked
it to
it, right?
Yashar Ali.
Yeah, I know. How did
he is so funny, dude.
he had like a direct
guy.
line of access to that. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Were you there for that big, not fiasco? And like, dude, I'm not making fun of the guy at all, bro. I'm hefty
he's
too.
fine. I'm Bufos with him now. For some reason, Yashar Ali follows me. He follows
too,
a lot.
bro.
Actually, he
Hey,
follows me too. Yeah,
Him and me
it's
have been
interesting.
following each other for years, baby. But dude,
Very
like,
based.
this might have been before you were even on the scene house. It was definitely before Harris was. But he set this profile picture of him, like looking like this Chad Lebanese. I think he's Lebanese, but he just looks like Chad in the fucking profile picture. And then he went on CNN or something, and he's like at least 100 to 120 pounds heavier than the profile picture he was using. So I think people were, he finally changed it, I think, because people were like, bro, come on, dude. You can't do that. You can't, that's cheating.
Yeah, what he was doing in the profile picture was pulling in a hoodie so that it only showed the center of his face. But it accentuated his features and was, you know, pulling all the large parts back.
That's pretty clever.
I gotta try that maneuver, bro. I'm like 10 pounds away from having to leave the house with fucking those binder clips and sucking everything back and just pulling it.
Yeah. I get that. I want the surgery. Give me the surgery.
I need it, dude. I need it. Especially without the stash.
The buccal fat removal is
the buccal fat removal. Get the stomach stapled.
I feel like a guy might be able to look okay with the buccal fat, but even then, it's like
no.
I don't know why anyone removes it. It looks good.
Like those pictures, I don't think this is a result of the buccal fat, but those pictures of some of these Avengers guys before they started like HGH and then after, you know what I'm talking about?
Well, dude, the clearest one is, who's that Indian guy? I think
he looks crazy.
Dude, he became a thwomp from Mario. His head literally is like a rectangle now, dude.
Gained more bone. He somehow gained bone mass.
Well, your head gets bigger on steroids. I don't know what the science is.
That's so cool. I want to do steroids now. I want a big ass head.
Dude, they're I almost said they're healthy. They're not bad for you if you use them correctly.
Yeah.
I've had tons of friends who cycle steroids, TRT, whatever it is. Yeah. It's just people abuse them. That's kind of what the big problem is.
I guess it's like that with any, you know, sort of drug, alcohol, right? You know, you gotta.
I'm pretty sure Sam Hyde was cycling and had talked about it.
Yeah,
he looked a bit like a fucking like a ghoulish beast, like during the time that he was training for his
bro.
What do you call it?
He's done that to himself for comedy, and he's also stalking iDubbbz, which is interesting.
Dude, say what you will about Sam Hyde. I know you're a huge fan of him, House, and you said
I love that guy.
But if I had to be trapped on a desert island with one content creator and they died and I could eat their body, that man would feed me for years. I don't think there's a better choice than him. I would.
What do you mean?
I feel like the meat's real. I feel like the meat's no good. It's like, what about Boogie? Like venison. You have to like cook it real specific.
Venison's delicious. Harris.
What about Boogie 2988?
Dude, you can't. Hey, listen, I don't mind chewing some gristle, but I prefer a little meat with my chunk. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, that's like the Kobe beef of like.
That is not what Kobe beef is. Kobe beef is not just a fat cow, dude.
Yeah, it is. Isn't that the whole point? Is that
all of the YouTube stars? How do we think eating all of the YouTube stars?
We should do a tier list of how we.
What about Nikocado Avocado?
Everyone would vote for Markiplier. Dude, this is not.
Nikocado is
first of all,
like that's like foie gras. It's like distended, like illegal.
Dude,
like you know what I mean? Like you know how sorry Nico. We'd love to have you on the pod. I'd love to talk to you.
Don't they stuff a duck full of grain?
That's what I'm saying. It's like that's what foie gras is like. It's not legal to eat in America because it's like highly abusive to the animal.
But bro, I gotta correct you because I have autism right now over your Kobe beef thing. They don't just get the cow really fat. They just feed it like very nice shit. They get a little fat, but it's that they're massaging it and that they're sweet to it its whole life.
Okay,
it's not that it's fat. You're thinking about the marbling in it is unreal. It's like the marbling pattern is the meat is crazy. Although I'll be honest with you, this is cold cuts. If I'm wrong, there's a 99% chance. So
well, I did think that. Okay, let's see. I know that it's okay. I'm looking it up. All right, it is a delicacy. It's valued for its flavor, tenderness, and fatty, well-marbled texture. That's what I knew about it, but I just thought that meant there was more fat, so it starts marbling. But I guess
there's more spread throughout. But it's not like the cow isn't. If the cow was human, it wouldn't look like Boogie. I don't think.
Okay,
that's my point. That's my point.
Boogie wouldn't be he'd be like just a regular Holstein. You don't have to get complicated with it.
We gotta support him in his upcoming fight because. He probably follows you guys too, but I think he follows me. Wings of Redemption doesn't follow me, so we got to get a little
fighting Wings of Redemption.
They're officially fighting.
Jesus
Really? Wait,
Christ.
Boogie?
That's so
Boogie
oh my
follows me?
god.
Does Boogie follow me? Let me see. Boogie, if you follow me, I won't eat you on a deserted island. But if you don't follow, oh, dude, you're fucking. I'm getting the skewers ready, bro. We're having Boogie on a kebab.
No.
Yeah.
He'd be a fun
Boogie.
guest to have on.
I would love to have him on.
We're gonna eat Philip DeFranco.
Oh,
There's
he would
something
taste
off
good.
about him, bro.
I think he would
has
taste
one
good.
of
He's very
those looks
smooth.
That's like he looks like a lesbian. Am I crazy? He
Why
has a
is
very
that
lesbian
off, though? Maybe you're getting lesbian.
I think it's like
That's fine,
men of a certain age that don't grow facial hair, you're at a higher risk of drifting into looking like a lesbian territory, but it's not a bad look.
I think it's his
some of those
haircut,
guys,
too.
It's
bro.
the eyes. It's the ring light and the fact that his eyes always look extremely wet. And
Yes.
the ring light.
What's
that
his
incredible
saying?
eye wetness.
What's his stupid saying?
hello,
Here's
you
the
beautiful
damn
bastards.
news. Oh no, that's it. Hello, you
Beautiful
beautiful bastards. I'm so sick of that stuff. You think
He
that
is
shit would have
old
died
YouTube,
with
though.
exactly? You should think
That's
it would have
like
died
old,
with old
old.
YouTube. What was Equal 3? What was his?
Ray
Equal
William
3.
Johnson.
Ray William Johnson. Didn't he always have something?
I never
I
watched
don't
that
remember
shit.
what he
I
said.
totally
I remembered his. Didn't he have like a bunch of like racist songs with Your Favorite Martian or something?
I don't know
like
if it was
that?
racist, but I know the one that's like, "Bitch got a penis." Bitch got a penis, and
That's
people were
kinda
like,
cool.
"Whoa!"
Oh my god.
Yo, this is so
Whoa.
ahead of its time.
Oh, and then
Yeah,
the
wow.
classic "Doing Your Mom." That was.
Doing Your Mom, yeah.
Is that Ray
Love
William Johnson?
You didn't know he
also?
made that?
I don't know
Doing your
shit about
mom,
Ray
do
William
it, doing
Johnson.
your mom.
Where are
Banger.
these guys? Dude, I think one of the guys from Smosh followed me on Instagram
No
like last
way.
week. Yeah, but I didn't recognize him. I was like, who the fuck is
They
this
got
guy?
fucked so hard.
What happened with them? What's the story?
They essentially sold. They didn't sell. It was like they partnered up. You remember how there were all those like, yeah, they would like run your YouTube channel kind of and give you more views, but you'd have to like split money with them. I forget what they're called,
Okay.
MCM or something.
Okay.
But they teamed up with one and signed a contract where like they essentially just didn't own any of their shit and also weren't making any money.
That sucks.
So, and like they were they were like peak YouTube.
Dude, seriously,
were, like,
I mean, they
the
were
kings for a
big.
while,
Yeah, they were
yeah.
big.
Mhm.
Did you guys ever watch I think it's a little bit of a deeper cut, but did you guys ever watch Waverly Films on YouTube? You ever know
No, it's
that?
Waverly
No.
Films.
Is that the wizard one?
No, it wasn't. Me and my buddy used to be obsessed with these guys, and they were like very they were like very low budget, but they had some great fucking dude. Some of these are really popular. Like here, they edited some of them didn't actually feature the guys. Like there was this one, The Amazing Lyrebird of Australia, where they edit it and it's like this bird, but it's making all kinds of
okay.
like crazy noises. But anyway,
I
they
know
had
that video. Yeah.
And
they
made
had
the gopher that's like Steve.
is that them
Steve!"
too? It might have been them.
I'm assuming. Maybe I'm wrong.
It's possible, but dude, they're really funny. There's a video that me and my friend used to watch all the time, just called Chips, and it's literally this guy like, hey, look at all these chips, hey, look at all these chips, and then he just gets like a table falls on him. Hang on, let me see.
They did that
Sounds
video
good.
for Reggie Watts, where he has a big head and he's going fuck shit stack. And
Oh, that's
Pre-Roy's
classic.
Humail is also in that video.
These guys are great, man. I have no idea what they're doing now, but this is, I mean, talk about early fucking YouTube. Like this video was uploaded in 2007. Yeah, holy shit.
No
man.
way.
Dude, I have videos
way,
from
bro.
me and my buddy. I was just talking to him about this recently. I have videos that we were making back in 2007 that are still up on YouTube, and I was just thinking, like, if these ever leak, it is Joker.
Dude,
for
I
me.
have some cringy shit. And,
like just. I mean, I
don't
was
know
in
if I have the
7th
login.
grade.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude, literally,
Like,
I have one
so
from
long
like
ago.
9th grade of me dancing shirtless to Safety Dance.
That's awesome.
And I have no way to delete it. So
That's awesome.
If people want to look for it, I'll allow it, but I don't know if it's gonna be found.
I don't know how you would
Yeah.
even find some of this shit. I mean, I think it's only a matter of time before these videos leak anyway. Like somebody's gonna find, because we were honestly committed, like before Cold Cuts existed. This YouTube channel that I ran with my buddy when I was in the 7th grade was like, this was my ticket out of town basically. And then we hung it up eventually. I don't know what happened. I think we just eventually, started.
Dude, then you moved on to Elon Tonight, the high class.
It was never, it was never as
High-class
good.
comedy.
Yeah, no, it was never as
High-class
good.
comedy.
Yeah, no, but what are you gonna do? Some of those old fucking like, I love occasionally stumbling upon like a video that is from like 2007 YouTube. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
crazy how much shit has changed, and the expectation for like the quality of content is at such a different level now than it was when
Dude,
YouTube
you
first
used to
came
be able
out.
to just put something up there, just shit it out, and it would be
Literally.
like, "Oh, this is
And it could go
dope.
banger mode, yeah.
This is
Yeah.
dope,
Now you have
baby."
to have graphics. You
Yeah,
have
It's
to
true.
have like jokes.
Graphics,
You have to
editing.
have memes every 3 seconds where
I'm
you're
sick of it.
exploring.
Exactly. It's a whole fucking studio
About to
now
get
of
cut
like
off.
editors. Oh no. Happy Jew month. I'm gonna actually
Happy
get a
Jew month.
I'm going to get a beer. I'm feeling it. It's
And I'm gonna
6
go-
o'clock
The
my time.
Jewish.
I'm
the-
gonna go
the
get
Jewish
hostage
beer.
killer, and I'm gonna tie
No,
her up.
no,
I'm gonna tie her
no,
up to
stop
your
it,
house.
stop it,
I
stop
got
it,
her.
stop
Hank!
it, not
I got
again,
her, baby.
not again. I'm tired of this. Stop it, no.
Hostage killer versus Vosch versus House of
No,
Decline.
You think you can dodge these?
Three-way creator clash.
Can you hear the power of the punch when I go by the microphone?
Oh, you know, I think Vosch would taste good.
Yeah, House. We'll try to. I don't feel comfortable, but if you do want us to try to find hostage killers address, we
Nah,
can.
that's Isabel. Hey.
Oh, sorry, we're back. We're back. We are back.
Bell,
Harris,
Jim
what is up?
Bell.
What were we
Jim
talking about?
Bell.
Oh, yeah, basically what I was gonna say was you were just telling us about a famous Canadian serial killer, which
Famous
is
Canadian serial.
very unusual because I always thought Canadians were nice.
Gentle people.
No,
Yeah, I
no,
thought they
we're
were
just,
supposed to be really nice.
We're passive aggressive. We even have passive aggressive serial killers.
Was he passive? How was he passive about
He
it?
probably wasn't passive aggressive. Actually, I'm just making that up. But we have terrible ones. Have you never heard of Robert Picton?
No, I haven't.
He's a
These
Vancouver
all just sound like
guy.
cute fairy tale creatures.
They don't sound real.
Yeah, there's some real bad Canucks out there. I tell you.
And you're not confusing this with Pikmin, the video game?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there are Pikmin serial killers. I'm sure there have been Pikmin that have thirsted for blood.
I just looked up. I was curious actually because it's Jewish Heritage Month if there are Jewish serial killers. But the first one that I think of is what's his name?
George Soros. No.
I was thinking of the Son of Sam guy. He was Jewish, right?
No,
Was
he
he?
was Italian and he was adopted by a Jewish family.
Oh, okay.
Dude,
I
you
mean,
would,
sure, we'll count him.
You would be such a good son of Sam, bro. You literally look like him if you like. I feel like if you ate a bunch of mass gainer, you would 100% look like that dude.
Are you talking about me?
Yeah,
Yeah, I could.
dude, and you talk to a talking dog.
Oh,
Harris, kill people.
Wait, let me
Kill.
look up Son of Sam.
Kill
Dude,
hostage killer.
here's
Kill
Stop
hostage killer.
that! No
Dude.
more. I won't come on anymore if you keep doing that bit. I'm tired.
You know what's so
Tired of
crazy?
it. It's gotta stop.
I know you guys. I know
It
Zach.
has to stop.
It's just gonna keep going. It's never gonna.
It has stop. I can't.
It's never gonna.
I
End.
don't bear any animosity towards this.
You heard that,
person.
Cold Cuts crew.
Why are you extending?
Make it stop.
No.
Make it
Stop.
stop.
Stop it.
We are
Stop it.
done.
The crazy part is one thing about Son of Sam. I know you guys. I don't know if you guys watched Mindhunter. I know I've brought that
Love
one up.
I
a few times.
fucking hate mine.
I know you don't like that
Love
show.
Mindhunter.
I love that show. I know every time I tell somebody like, "Oh, have you ever watched Mindhunter?" They're always like, "Yeah, I hated that one," but I fucking loved it.
We're hunting minds.
The craziest
Anna
thing,
Torv.
I know,
She's a
when they-
lesbian.
dude, love it. When they were hunting mines in that show, I thought the craziest part was the guy that they cast as David Berkowitz in that show is like spitting image of the real
not
guy.
as much as the Ed Kemper guy is way better.
Ed
I mean,
Kemper
obviously
guy's
he's
really
an
good.
amazing actor, but I just mean literally like physical
Looking
appearance.
like-
Like the
Alright.
dude that they cast him as looks
Yeah.
exactly like this guy.
This
But,
is why you're Reddit though, bro. You guys watched Mindhunter. Instead, I watched this
I'm hunting
documentary that's like Season of the Witch, and it's about I think seasons of witches. No, that's the intro song. I forget what it is, but the whole point is apparently David Berkowitz was working with this cult type thing, and there was this reporter who was on looking into it and found the other guy who was apparently involved. And as soon as he went to his house, the guy killed himself. and there's a bunch of crazy shit, and it's like
That's wild. I would like to
so
see that.
interesting, dude. So interesting.
I was just watching. I didn't finish it because like I don't know. It kind of started to get that same Netflix documentary type feel where I'm like, guys, you could have made this one 30-minute episode. This didn't have to be a fucking 4-part, 4-hour long mini series. But I was watching the Waco, Texas.
Sure,
one.
Koresh.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Branch Dravidian.
Koresh.
They
Yeah,
killed a bunch of kids.
that is a bizarre one. Oh, and dude, even more bizarre than that. Did you guys watch Wild Wild Country on
Wild,
Netflix?
that's
That's
my
a
shit.
fucking
That
crazy
is my
What is that?
shit.
I've heard it.
I love Ma Anan Sheila so much.
Dude,
she doesn't
she's
take any shit.
nuts. She's nuts.
She's like saying, fuck you, Ma Anan Sheila, fuck off.
Yeah, she's honestly like she was the original like girl boss gatekeep.
Yeah.
What was
So,
it? Give me the rundown.
Rap hog.
It's about the Rajneeshis who followed
Yes.
this guy called
Dude,
Rajneesh.
I think I did. Dude, first of all, Harris, you've been
insane
sending me the
documentary.
past week of you editing pictures of making people have big brains. That dude just looked like his head was huge, bro.
Wait,
The
who?
I
Rajneesh-
don't think
bro,
that they-
look
Osho
him up
had a
right
pretty
now.
normal looking head.
Osho?
No way,
He
dude.
was
Because I
called
swear to
Rajneesh
you,
or
too,
Osho. They called him Osho.
I swear in the
Osho.
documentary, they removed his brain and it was like extra large. What is his name?
What? No, he looks
I
normal.
don't. I don't.
I think you're thinking
he
of
has
somebody
a very
else.
normal sized head. He
There's
has a
no
very,
way.
He has a very regular
Well,
sized head.
I will
What
say
is this?
he's,
What's his name?
Rajneesh.
he's pictured with a turban, so it's
Rajneesh.
possible that if he removes
no,
that turban, there's
pictures
a
of
giant
him without
head
the
on him.
turban. He has a
Bro,
normal sized head.
it's huge, bro. I'm telling you, this is the guy I'm thinking of.
It's not. What do you?
I'm
do you
sending
have
it.
head blindness?
I do not have head blindness. I'm sending you this picture right now. Check this out.
Okay, let's see it. This, I mean, first of all, you know, all this fucking crazy conspiracy shit aside, this dude was like the ultimate pimp. He just came up with the craziest fucking scheme to get every dude, like white people love this fucking guy. I mean, yeah, it's a pretty big head. And there's a Ma Anan Sheila right there.
Yeah.
There you go.
I guess I feel that's just from an angle that makes.
Yeah,
his
I don't
head
think
look
that
big.
that's not like
I'll
what you
admit
you
I did
described
look
like
for
a
one. His
you
head
described
just
like a
looks big,
cantaloupe
bro.
head.
His
I
head
think you're
just
thinking of
looks big to me.
somebody else.
I-
You have a
it's
prejudice
definitely
against
this
the
guy.
bald.
You were like,
Yeah.
dude, they did an autopsy and they removed his brain, and it was like the biggest.
You're
thing.
making that up.
I swear to God. I swear to
No.
God. I will say
Uh,
this though. We were talking about passive aggressive serial killers. Their move of like going into a restaurant and then spraying like E. coli on the
That was
salad,
passive aggressive.
That is-
that
fucking
was
crazy.
Canadian. That felt Canadian. That maneuver.
Dude,
Hey,
I gotta
that
just
was an
give.
American thing.
I guess like major spoilers for Wild Wild Country but you guys, anybody who
It
hasn't seen that shit
happened
should
in
watch
history.
it. It's
they
fucking.
can't be spoilers.
It
for
can be
history.
spoiled because I had never heard this story, which is pretty
Yeah.
nuts. That like I had never heard of it before, but dude, the whole fucking like. Just like the idea that this little like commune happened, and they were like, it was a lot like the Waco situation, but I think it happened after Waco, right? Like I think
I
they
think it happened
were
before Waco. It happened in the 80s. Waco
Be-
happened in 95, I think.
Oh,
93.
really? Okay, because I thought they were concerned about the whole cult thing because of the Waco thing. Like
no,
I
they were
thought the reason.
concerned of Waco because of Ruby Ridge, which preceded Waco, which was another raid on a compound that went awry.
Okay, that's fair.
But
I
the
sent you-
Rajneeshis they weren't raided like that. They just sort of were legislated out of existence by the rural town that was next to them.
It's crazy. They
That was
straight
a
up took
heartwarming
over.
story.
They straight up took over the fucking town, like at the beginning though, and it's like it's funny because there's also this whole concept that like, especially, you know, nowadays it's really easy to like hate old people because they're like really hard-headed and closed-minded and like and the old people in this documentary who live in that little fucking town are extremely like hard-headed and like don't like they don't like the new people right out the gate, but then like the Rajneeshis turn out to be like
they're pretty
freaks.
weird.
Yeah, they're really weird.
I wouldn't join the Rajneeshis.
Exactly, and then you start to
I
side.
wouldn't join them.
Well,
Racism is good sometimes.
Hey,
I
think that's
there's
the
a lot of
point.
white people
But
there.
that's the
There's
thing
a-
is it wasn't even really a racist thing because everybody all of them were white. They were all just white hippies that
Yeah.
got obsessed with this one. Their leader was this Indian guy, but the rest of them were just like whiteys. But I always am fascinated with stories about cults and like reading about Scientology and shit like that because it's just like I do not see a scenario where I would ever be indoctrinated into a cult. So it's really hard to watch shows like that and put myself in the position of the people who are just get swept up in this lifestyle.
You say you haven't been indoctrinated into a cult, yet
Oh.
the Avatar 2 poster is right behind you.
Yeah, you're right. That's true. I mean,
Also,
I'm definitely...
society.
Society.
Also,
Come on.
did you forget
Okay,
about society?
okay. Did you forget about you're already in the biggest cult
Dude,
of all?
The thing with this,
YouTube.
the Scientology thing, and the reason I don't even believe that this is what they actually believe, it can't be. But it's insane to me that people still go along with it when it's like they get to that point where they paid enough where they're like, yes, a big alien blew you up in a volcano and you are an accumulation of alien souls. And it's like,
Yeah.
dude,
Well,
I could never believe, and that's something I wish was like why Earth was. I wish Earth was created
But
because of a big alien man. Like that would
Dude.
be
it has
so
to be
dope.
that ridiculous because it's the
Yeah.
big lie, right? You know, the bigger the lie is, you know, the more you have to force yourself to believe
But
it.
they
If
couldn't
you've
have been more
already-
modest. Like
dude,
the
it's like I really
every
I don't-
other religion, it's like
I
okay,
really
maybe
don't...
the Indians go a little crazy with
They're
their
all
little
weird.
that guy
Yeah,
with
no,
the
I was
elephant
gonna
head.
I
say-
just sat down and thought about how fucking weird just the Christ myth is.
Yes, I mean, I really don't want to sound like
Wait a minute.
euphoric in this moment,
Yeah,
but
said
I
like
am
myth?
euphoric in
You
this.
said myth.
I am definitely
Whatever.
euphoric.
See,
Whatever.
this is what's happening all over the country. Two Jewish people trying
That's
to talk
right.
me out of my strong Christian Catholic
Yeah,
faith,
that's
and I
right.
will not. I'm standing
Hey,
firm. I am
which
standing
Christ,
firm.
he was a Jew. He did not have a
was.
foreskin.
And you
okay.
killed him.
You know what's the-
Friendly
When they
fire.
chopped that
The-
foreskin
yeah.
off, they threw it into the woods and an olive tree grew.
Is that what
The,
happened?
No, they don't. We don't know
Something
what
like that.
happened to
I
Christ's
could see that
foreskin.
being part of the Bible. That seems like a Bible story.
Yeah,
Like,
there's some weird
his
shit.
foreskin
There's
was
some weird
tossed in an
The-
olive tree. Grew.
Well, there was somewhat recently, like sometime in the 2000s, there was this like what was believed to be the ceremonial like blanket that went over Jesus when
yes,
he
the-
died.
The
The shroud.
And
Shroud
there was
of Turin.
Turin.
Yeah, and there was like the his facial print was on there, and I think they recently discovered that it was actually a like really rudimentary camera, like that somebody had figured out how to use, like had been able to like literally. Did you ever hear about this? I think
No.
they even believed
So
it
it's
might
a
have.
picture of Jesus?
No, it's not Jesus. So you're telling me they photographed Jesus? No, it's a.
Dude, I
think
looked
they-
at my phone
This is
this
Da Vinci
morning,
Code.
and there's just there's like a selfie of you with Jesus on
Uh,
your
it's a-
phone. And
I,
you're
yeah, I think I think there's even some theories that it may have been Leonardo da Vinci because he had some like blueprints for a device that was like it was
It's like a
literally
camera obscura, like an
Exactly,
early type
like
of
the
pinhole
most-
projector.
you know
the
what?
most prototypical
I'm
version
calling
of a
bullshit.
camera. Okay.
It is
It's
the real shroud. This is again another Jewish. I'm supposed to feel bad about my shroud, yet you guys light 12 candles for some reason.
There is a shroud. There is a shroud that is the outline of Jesus's penis.
Yes.
Oh.
It's called the Shroud of Urine.
Oh.
All right.
That's
That was
good.
good. That was
That's
good.
good. That was
Pissed
good.
the
Good.
bed a lot. You see,
Good-
and it
good
formed
setup,
a
good delivery, you
perfect
got
outline.
right
That
to it.
reminds me of the that Christ piss thing. Didn't that make a lot of people angry?
What is
Piss
that?
Christ, yeah.
It
Some
was
guy,
like, instead of the-
photograph of him pissing on Christ.
It's like the proto pony jar, but instead of semen, it was pee. And the guy, he put like a little Jesus into a mason jar, I think, right?
Yeah.
And just peed in it
Interesting.
and took a picture.
Dude,
In 1987, photographed by the American artist and photographer Andres Serrano. It depicts a
he
small
would have
plastic
loved
crucifix.
Rick and Morty. You know that dude would have in the Pickle Rick episode. He would have been going crazy, bro. I know.
He's still alive. He's 72 and he looks great.
You know what else is a great just ancient Jesus thing is that one painting that old woman decided to renovate on her own time, and it looks
Yeah.
like a monkey now.
Yeah.
That's
Good.
so good, dude.
I fucking love that. That's
But
like
it
one
is-
I
of
love
my
when they interviewed her and
favorite-
she was like, "I was trying to make it better. I was trying to touch it up."
I
And
feel like she
oh,
didn't even really want to admit that
It looked bad.
that it looked bad. I think she was like, "What do you mean? I don't see the problem. It looks good. It looks like Jesus, dude. It looks
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
crap. I'm looking at a picture of it right now.
Bro,
Yeah,
this
it
is,
looks like a howling, shrieking ghost. It looks like a howling animal.
It just looks like a monkey. Like there's really no two ways around it.
Yeah,
but it all worked out in the end because it became a tourist destination, and like the church makes a lot of money out of it.
I think
now.
it wasn't
see
even
special Jesus.
Yeah, it really is.
This is our very special Jesus.
Quite beautiful.
He has a when he was crucified, he was on a short cross. If you catch my drift,
he was on, instead of the short bus, it's the short cross.
Bingo, baby.
That's what you're saying. They have a different cross for disabled people.
Yes.
You're doing your ableist Jesus joke.
A little joke. What
if there was a Da Vinci Code, but it turns out that Jesus was disabled? And that that's the big
that's what
twist.
that wheel was. They would strap him in, and he'd wheel around. He'd just roll everywhere. Dude, that would be sick.
Just like at Burning Man.
Dude, why are we talking about Jesus on the Jewish episode?
He was Jewish.
Dude, this is base. See, I've subverted the Jews. No, he's ours. Get out of here. He's out. You guys, first of all, you guys murk him, and then you're like, no, he was on our team. He was on our. You can't claim him. You can't. He was ours. He was ours.
The Pharisees. We're not the Pharisees. That's a fallacy that we're the Pharisees.
Oh, I got a phallus you should see, brother. I got a phallus or two you should see, brother.
Put it right here.
You know what? I recently watched Hercules, like the animated Disney.
So good, dude.
Which is
I have nutted so much to Megara.
To Meg.
Okay,
Sure. Dude, I was watching
older woman. Yeah.
I was actually watching the movie with my girlfriend, and she said, I even as I'm gonna say this out loud, and I cannot believe she said this. She was like, I really don't love the voice actress for Meg. I don't know why they picked her. And I seriously like Roku, like on the Roku, like pause. Like you're ruining my viewing experience right now. But I like, first of all, that movie's fucking amazing. But when we were watching it, I was like, it had been a long time since I'd seen it. And first of all, 10 out of 10 fucking movie. But I was a little bit surprised at how like Jewy the humor was. like a lot of it is like,
well, James Woods doing a Jew voice. James Woods, who isn't Jewish,
and they say
doing a Jew voice throughout the entire movie, and he's the Lord of the Underworld.
Literally,
is Hades
so funny?
Is Hades like a Jewish voice?
I would say,
he says,
here's the thing,
does he?
And also, I think Andy Dick plays Hermes in that movie, or Mercury, or whatever. And one of them, I think Hades says, like,
Paul Schaefer is Hermes.
He refers to Hercules as a schlemiel, and like he says the Yiddish word, which we've brought up on this podcast before. And I was like, dude, this fucking like, and there's like several times where they use like a Yiddish word or something, and I was just like, that is so crazy. We need another movie like this. Why do we not have more animated movies that are just have this type of like Jewish humor? Why do we not have
James Woods playing Jewish coded?
He did a great job, honestly. Honorary Jew.
Give him more evil Jew roles.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how he'd feel about the honorary Jew. I'm not sure. I don't want to imply anything. I'm not sure.
Look,
I'm just.
We're gonna go over all the Jews today. All the great Jews. Harvey Weinstein.
Oh God.
Dustin Hoffman.
Is James Woods really not? Is he really not Jewish?
James Woods is not Jewish. He is on the list of people that.
He was born in Utah, so that right out the gate, there are no Jews in Utah
except for Roseanne. Roseanne was a Jew from Utah.
Really? That's so specific. How do you know that?
That's incredibly because she's the only one, and it's Roseanne, so you have to know that.
That's her.
It's like that one Jewish guy that was in Afghanistan for years.
Which one is that?
You never heard of the last Jewish guy in Afghanistan?
Oh, I thought it was two of them. I think we have talked about this, and they hated each other.
Oh
yeah. It's so classic.
There should be a movie about that with Larry David and Richard Lewis.
So good.
I fucking love that.
The Arabs were so fed up. They were so fed up. Like,
dude, I was dying at the somebody posted a thread that was just like post your favorite moments from Curb or something like that, and I was just scrolling through there, and there's so many funny moments, but the one that was just killing me, it was this one where he's like he goes to get like he walks up to some kids running a lemonade stand, and he goes up to them and he's like, yeah, I'd like to get some lemonade. Let me have some. And they're, and you know, what's this for? And they're like, oh, we're raising money for whatever. And they're like, he's, oh, that's great. And he like buys the lemonade, takes a sip, and he's like, oh my God, this is terrible. Like this tastes awful. Like, give me my money back. And they're like, get out of here. Get out of here. Trying to leave. He's like, you guys, I'm calling the police. You guys should be shut down. Like, dude, it was so fucking funny. Like, that shows a genius.
Yeah, Larry versus kids, always a great interaction. I love it when, for some reason, the little girl is texting him, and he's like, "No, I don't want to talk about Wizards of Waverly Place." And she ends up traumatizing her. Yeah.
You know what's funny is my mom. She hates Larry David because
really?
Wow.
Yeah, because she
She's
feels
not a jaded ex.
She feels like he's like too Jewish that he's like making fun, like that. Yeah, that he's almost doing Jewish blackface, and it's like that he's like annoying, and she thinks that he makes people hate Jewish people because he's like this annoying like snide.
But using your mom's logic, like using your mom's logic, does that mean Jewish people are inherently like Larry David?
I don't think. I think that he embodies in some ways what you would say like are some of the worst qualities of a Jewish stereotype.
But which is so funny because I think
it's funny.
I think he has run so much PR in the public eye for Jewish people, especially to people like, you know, my cousin.
I mean, yeah, dude, he's like my mom is wrong about Larry David. I mean, he's obvious, like he's great.
His humor goes beyond Jewish humor or any sort of Jewish boundary because I think it's pretty universal because what it does is it gives permission to admit that we're petty and awful and stupid. Like, people want to, like, it's the reason why Catholics go to confession, you know, the terrible, stupid shit that you do every day weighs on you. You know, you think back to some mistake you made 3 years ago and you got to go, whoa! But Larry David, by making himself the butt of the joke and showing himself as being this awful, stupid, petty asshole, even though he has everything in the world, you know, I think there's like a cathartic aspect to that.
I was about to break out catharsis. I was about to break that word out.
That word out. Very good.
It allows people to admit that they're just small sometimes. And I think that's sort of like, that is a feature of Jewish relationships I've noticed. It's funny you talk about Crumb, who he wasn't Jewish, but that same relationship you have with your parents where you're like weirdly way more honest with each other's emotions than like your Gentile families that you know.
Yeah.
Where like you talk to your mom about, are you angry? Are you angry? Does your stomach hurt? Are you feeling weird? Are you depressed? You know, that sort of relationship you have with your parents where it's very interrogatory about your emotions. That's sort of where I think that being able to admit you feel like you do all these terrible things, that's where that comes from.
Yeah. Do Jewish people have weak stomachs, or are they just more open about their stomachs hurting? So I feel like that's like a Jewish
question.
Like,
I have a terrible
my stomach hurts.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I had a tummy ache.
I don't know. I have like, I mostly eat the same crap every day, so I couldn't really tell you. But like, I don't usually get like, I couldn't tell you the last time I had like food poisoning or anything like that. Yeah, no.
I'm very stomachy, you know, and I refuse to stop eating dairy, which is, I know that's the major cause.
Bro, do what I do because I'm the same way. Bro, buy lactate pills. They're like, you can get 100 for like $5. You take one, you'll stop shitting your pants. It'll be worth it, bro. It makes the ice cream worth it.
Maybe I should try that, honestly. I always
You have lactate shit too? Or lactose intolerance?
Lactose intolerance. I think everybody has a little bit of lactose
I never had it until I hit
except for the
20.
Dutch.
And then I looked it up and it was like, it's sometimes you can like turn 20 and like become lactose intolerant. And I was so pissed because I love milk.
I love cheese. I love like
cheese,
different kinds
bro.
of
All the
cheeses.
dairies.
Yeah,
All the dairies.
yeah.
So little Reddit.
Oh my god.
You guys like bacon?
Have
you guys ever had bacon?
Bacon
is so good.
Here's
bacon.
It's kind of mid. I'm gonna
Shut up. Nah, bacon is not mid. If it's cooked wrong, it's mid.
Bacon is good, but they're not all like made the same. You know, they're not all built the same. Like I think there are some bacon. Sometimes I'll have bacon and I'm like, yo, this shit is hitting. And then sometimes it's like take it or leave it. But
I prefer
love a bacon burger.
Canadian style back bacon.
I do love Canadian bacon.
Canadian bacon is very good. Yeah, you guys definitely hit a home run with that shit. Yeah. Canadian
we should rip on you more for being Canadian. I feel like we don't.
It's just I don't.
Does that become Reddit?
I'm not that provincial. It's maybe if I talked more like this and had more of an affect. You know about that guy JJ McCullough?
Who?
Who?
I have this. You wouldn't have heard about. He's this very innocuous YouTuber who makes like, oh, we're doing politics explainers for teens, you know, and he's like
powerful.
vaguely right of center, and he does a column for the Washington Post about, oh, maybe you haven't heard about Canada, but could I interest in a few Canadian? And he actually talks like that. He plays up his Canadian accent and what I think he's doing Canada face for Americans.
Canada face.
Dude, I
You know,
hate
oh,
when
we all
people
want
do
to-
that.
Yeah, I'm exaggerating my quirks from where I'm from. I'd like to go logging and I wear a toque and, you know, Putin and all that. And,
Dude, I
what
had
is
an
this
ex.
show,
I had an ex.
Letterkenny?
Bro, my
Sorry.
roommate loves that shit, bro. That's a Canadian show.
That's a Canadian show too, but that's like one of those where it's like I watch it and I'm like, what the fuck are these dudes saying, bro? I cannot understand a fucking word of it. It's just like they're like too Canadian for me to understand. Right? They're
Honestly.
Canadian.
Yeah, it's
who,
I think they
Letterkenny?
are.
Letterkenny?
Or Trailer Park Boys is what.
Letterkenny.
Letterkenny. I mean, Trailer Park Boys I've seen, and that one is obviously Canadian, but you can at least understand what they're saying. But Letterkenny is almost like it's almost
country
like
Canadian.
it's like
Yeah.
almost listening to somebody with a Scottish accent, where it's like I know you're speaking English, but what
sound.
the
Go hack a
fuck
dart
are
down
you
the alleyway.
saying? Yeah, like
Yeah,
Like
totally.
the old
yeah.
Bud Sand Brick had a meth problem
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
Right there, you know. Oh, we read the old fiction of Alice Munro talk about Southern Ontario, lad. What they called, it's not called the Golden Triangle, it's called the Golden Horseshoe. The Golden Triangle is the heroin producing countries. We don't produce no heroin, we only produce meth over here.
Yeah, it's like I hear this voice and my eyes just glaze over. I'm like,
Me
could you repeat that?
no.
Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna take one. You're gonna take one ticket to go see the Leafs. You're gonna go in there. You're gonna go root for Mitch Marner. Okay, he needs all your support, Mitch Marner. And Austin Matthews. The
You know
Leafs.
what it makes
They're
me
in
think
playoff
of?
contention for the first. They made it to the second round of the playoffs for the first time in 19 years.
Good.
We're going all the way, baby. I'm
Dude,
on
what-
the Leafs train again.
It makes me think of you know that one song that was made by like an Italian guy that's supposed to sound like English, and he's
Yes.
like,
Freezing Colin Ensign and Chuso.
yeah, he's like ice cream machine is
Yeah.
broken, like, but he's like saying like
Here's
complete
some
like
bounce, you could be a
garbage.
man saying,
Yeah.
well, thought about time.
Yeah, and you hear it, and you're just like, that does kind of sound. That does look.
Vaguely English.
Well,
Well,
what we
just a
sound
gum
like.
jumping down, sipping down with the phone from time, but then lip bone
It's,
cake.
yeah, it's almost like an AI trying to speak an American accent. Like it's not actually quite there, but it's like close enough.
It's more closer to English than Simish is, which I fucking cannot stand, bro.
what does Simish sound like again?
Scoobly Gomblor.
Oh,
Gimbly
yeah.
Conglu.
Yeah, that's right.
Gabadimbus.
I just
fucking hate that shit, dude.
Angie's been playing Animal Crossing, which they have that's the funniest like video game invoice to me, which is just that like
Is she a cruel landlord? Because I've heard many guys talk about their girlfriends being like, yo, this fucking ugly animal moved in. I need to evict it.
I don't know, because sometimes she'll be playing it and I'll be like looking over her shoulder, and every time I check in like and see how she's doing, it seems like she's leveled up a fair bit, which to me says that she's probably playing a cruel game of Animal Crossing I'm sure she is playing in a way that is
Everything
very
is
like
experience.
brutal.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I used to fucking love Animal Crossing on GameCube.
I've never even played it before, bro.
Amazing game. And
Oh,
I now
catch
watching
bugs?
her. Yeah, you catch bugs, and now in the new one, I mean, newish. What is it, like fucking 4 or 5 years old? But it's like, it's crazy how much shit they have in there. Like and now it's like you take out loans and like you can fund all kinds of like construction projects, and it's wild. Yeah, crazy game.
I eventually lost touch with it and then nuked my island because I felt like it. I wanted to destroy them all.
KK Slider is just one of my all-time favorite
Oh, the
video game
dog
characters. He's such a fresh character design. I love that he's somewhat mysterious. Like he just pops in from time to time and sings you a little ditty, and then he
He's a
disappears again.
troubadour. He's
Yeah,
the
troubadour.
unrestrained cool of the young Bob Dylan.
I love.
I don't
that guy.
understand, because, like, dude, I see the porn of the Egyptian cat, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I want to fuck her so bad. But then it's like, the character's, like, normal
built
body looks like
like
this,
that.
and I'm like...
No, I know. They're built like
I'm
a
like,
Sour
yeah,
Patch
but
Kid.
my brain is, like, trying to make the jump of, like... How can you tell she has
sexualize
such
this?
ass-clapping cheeks just from fucking
You got to
this.
use your imagination. You know,
I
that's why
guess,
you
but
hire these
goddamn.
artists. That's why these furry artists are in high demand.
I feel the
Or
same
so
way
I'm
about
told.
the Vaporeon meme. Like, where did that
Well, bro,
arise
she would
from?
be the best to breed with. Because someone on the VP Pokemon 4chan board was fucking fetishizing shit and was like running the stats that she would be the most. I can't believe I just said she. That
Yeah, no, the fact that you're saying
Pokemon.
she is
That
upsetting.
Pokemon would be
Sexualizing.
the best to breed with as a human
Oh,
out of all the Pokemon. And then gave
Why
all
would you
these
would be able to create
reasons.
viable offspring?
Not viable offspring, but just like, dude, look up the copypasta. I'm not going. You know what?
It's a
I'm
case
just
of
going to read it to you.
someone's very specific fetish becoming a meme for like a fetish for an entire community.
Correct.
Like that guy that depicted Ashley from Resident Evil as a mouse, which I guess wasn't a fetish, but it probably was.
we were
Here
just,
it is.
you know what?
Here it is. You ready for this? Oh, we were just talking about.
We were
that.
talking about that with Vosh. You guys are more alike than you think.
You're not so different. You and
were
I.
both
We're not
the
so
one.
different.
You guys
We're not
both brought
so
it up.
different. You
I
and I.
guarantee you, bro, you're gonna come on the episode with him, and then a week later, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, what's up?" And you're like, "Just talking to Vosh."
No, you know
Me
what's
and
gonna
Vosh have been talking.
you know what's gonna happen is you're gonna get off this call and like in Spider-Man, like you hear the Green Goblin's laughter like echoing through the chambers of your house, and then you like walk into a mirror, and it's like Vosh is standing in the mirror, and he's like mirroring your things, and he's like, "You are nothing without me."
It's the end of
house."
annihilation. Yeah,
Two
it's,
sides of the
exactly.
same
becomes the cancer
coin.
monster.
First,
All right,
Maybe
listen.
I am the cancer monster.
This is
I am.
This is the Jewish episode. We have 5 minutes left, so we would be remiss not to talk about our favorite Jewish women. But let me just burn through this Vaporeon copypasta because you both haven't heard this.
I haven't heard this.
Let's hear it. I gotta hear it.
Mind blowing. Okay.
Vaporeon
Hey guys,
copypasta.
did you know that in terms of male, human, and female Pokemon breeding, Vaporeon is the most compatible Pokemon for humans? Not only are they in the field egg group, which is mostly comprised of mammals, Vaporeon are an average of 3 feet 3 inches tall and 65 pounds. This means they're large enough to be able to handle human dicks, and with their impressive base stats for HP and access to acid armor, you can be rough with one. Due to their mostly water-based biology, there's no doubt in my mind that an aroused Vaporeon would be incredibly wet. Good point. So wet that you could easily have sex with one for hours without getting sore. I can't say that's wrong. They can also learn moves Attract, Baby Doll, Captivate, Charm, and Tail Whip, along with not having fur to hide nipples.
Okay.
and there's a little bit more. I don't want to go through the whole thing.
Wow.
YouTube, but
you guys really thought this through.
You
He's
can
really
tell
thought
the
this
person
fucking
has
Vaporeon thing through.
really thought it through.
Really
bro.
spent a lot of time on this. Why does he want a fucking animal? You know, he's not even anthropomorphizing it. Like, I get it if you turn it into like a furry character and it's
like Loppunny. I kind of get. Well, that's kind of
it's still an animal.
Of a bunny. That is kind of a bunny. Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't get. Yeah, Harris told me he really wanted it.
Do the work of anthropomorphizing it. You know,
Yes.
before in that post, it's just he's straight up fucking an animal, which is
yeah. I don't get the Pokemon fetishization beyond Loppunny. I know Loppunny is built like
my wife.
Any porn that involves stuff from kids shows is like automatic turnoff.
It's a little iffy. Yeah, it's a little.
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah.
I don't want to. I associate this with children. I don't. This feels bad on my soul.
I mean, the crazy part about Loppunny and the reason that it's so obvious that their design was intentional is that when you Google Loppunny and you go to the images, the first one is the official Pokédex, and then the next like 5 or 6 are all like lightly sexual,
like
deviant art drawings. It's
this one is so sweet. Someone drew Loppunny as like just an actual bunny. It's like not sex at all. It's just a little bunny.
So we need more of that. We need more just like
I like that.
Look, if that's your perverted thing that you're into, that's fine. You know, like whatever. But at least do the work of anthroing them before you fuck them in your imagination. That's all I ask.
Yes.
Give them more human features, human-like features and sentience when you imagine it. Or not. I guess it's your brain. You can do what you want. But have some shame.
This is crazy though, bro. This I thought this was fan art, but the Mega Loppunny, literally is wearing tights with like rips in them.
Sure.
That's
No, come
kind of,
on.
dude. I'm literally
Yeah,
sending you the picture.
It's not
right
the first
fucking now.
time a company has pandered to furries. You know, look at.
I know,
look
but
at
this is
Zootopia.
like,
This
dude,
is like
I
a bit
literally-
over the line.
I literally thought this was fucking fan art.
But it's oddly sexualized art of a Pokemon.
I mean, just the ripped leggings. I feel like is kind of like a. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Loppunny,
guess
my
so.
sweet. Loppunny, my sweet.
Yeah, the large hips is the thing that people identify as the Loppunny character of.
That is the thing, right?
The bunny bearing hips, as people call it. Yeah, I got to thank the fantabulous, fantastic patrons.
The patrons.
Patron.
Look, it's fine. It's fine if that's what you're into. I have so many furry fans that I don't know what's over the line with them and what's not. You know.
I know. Well, at a certain point, it's like it just furries feel like I almost don't really know many people that aren't furries on some level at this point. It feels like it's just gotten like totally.
It's like John Wick. Everyone's a part of that stupid.
Everyone is part of it. Yeah, it's true.
I'd like to thank Gzan, Trash Bins, Brap Brap Pew Pew, Trevor Stilson, Shrek the Third, Alberto, Protista, Gwyn, Congaheli, Garlic Bread Ben, and Snake Oiler Man.
Thank you,
Extremely
guys.
fresh. Yeah.
Unbelievably
Extremely
based.
fresh. Unbelievably based.
Support.
And to my sweet Jewish comic artist, House of Decline.
We're doing the Jewish triangle.
Thank
Right?
you.
Meet
People,
in the
someone's gonna
middle.
misinterpret.
I'm
Meet
gonna
in the
do the-
middle, and we can make a full
Oh,
story.
a little Jewish.
Catholics.
It doesn't work. It won't
Catholics
work.
represent.